say it.
Yeah, as amended.
Do it.
Pikes are hot.
It's like always the longest minute in the world.
Always.
There we go. Whew, okay. Good evening. The Charter Township of Plymouth Board of Trustees regular meeting for Tuesday, March 14th, 2023 will come to order. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Stewart.
Here.
Trustee Monahan.
Here.
Trustee Kermy.
Here.
Trustee Buckley.
Here.
Clerk Vorba here. Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Here.
Supervisor Heisey.
Here.
All present, we have a quorum.
Okay, Pledge of Allegiance. How about our Eagle Scout, John Stewart?
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, sir. Okay, need a motion to approve the agenda.
Mr. Supervisor.
Mr. Clerk.
I move for the approval of the agenda for Tuesday, March 14th, 2023.
Motion's made by Clerk Vorba, seconded by Trustee Monahan. Any comments or questions? Everybody signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, so approval of the consent agenda. I understand there's some changes to the minutes.
Yes, there's going to be just a few amendments made by Treasurer Dorchevitz, and they have been noted.
Which page?
Just for his comments on the,
Which page?
okay, just 1 second, let me pull it up.
And who reviewed the bills?
Someone reviewed it, Bill.
Well, who is it? Or was it? Means nobody if nobody up here said they reviewed the bills.
You didn't review the
Truly
bills?
didn't hear what. It's
Who
not my
reviewed the-
month.
Did you
Oh,
review
it's
the
not my
bills?
month either.
Who reviewed the bills this
That's
month?
why I
Oh, I
asked the
did.
question.
Oh, you did?
He reviewed the bills.
I did. I went over them thoroughly, and I'm delighted
Okay,
to
good.
see.
You got it. So it's you. All right. Somebody
Yeah,
did.
did anyone else?
Nope, you did.
No.
You're it.
Oh, I did. Two other people.
Well,
No,
not necessarily.
Not this time,
Not
next
this
time,
Not
next
this
time.
time, John.
that's only during the
You're all
times when
set.
there's no second board meeting.
No,
all
I
set.
went,
Pull up
well,
2
and we
minutes.
should highlight, the batteries are in. Thank you, Supervisor. Thank you,
batteries
Jerry
are in.
Borba.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief,
There
for
you
the speed
charging,
trailers.
the charging thing? What are you talking about?
About the
I
electric.
approved the.
Electric vehicle charging
Yes.
station.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I know they were delivered. They're not out in front, are they? I park in the back, so.
No, they can't be installed yet.
Well, I just thought they were on pallets. I heard they
You
were on
thought you guys
pallets.
were fast if that
I don't
happened.
know.
No, the bills are,
They actually
okay.
didn't show
All
up
right,
today.
good.
What's that?
These
They
were
didn't
the,
show up today. The Chargers did not show up today.
to answer your question.
They didn't have to get them off the truck.
Who reviewed the bills?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
heard
just
the
as part of
charging
the
thing
scrambled
showed up
eggs.
today.
It
It's
was
part of
on
the-
the bills, so he noticed the batteries on the bills.
Perfect, okay.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
All right.
It was the portion where Bob made his comments on the,
Which meeting date?
that would have been, it would be the second one, the February 28th.
Trustee Kermy, if you have any objection to those bills, please state it now.
No, he's
Oh,
all,
I
he's
don't.
good.
I
He's
just
good.
want, I
You're okay.
just
No, he's wanted to know
wanted
who
to
did
find
it.
out.
Everything's good.
All right.
Box check,
he
did
just
somebody
All right,
do
there
it?
was nothing on there from Von Mar or,
But he had
Bar dues.
comments
For your bar
about the
dues.
planning commission on the
nothing.
Northfield
He's
Downs.
got a good memory.
So on February 28th, it was
Yes.
which page? 9 or 10?
Well, this would be page 11 of 172 on this, in the
11.
minutes.
11, okay, hold on.
So when we go to Northfield Downs, he made some comments.
Yeah, what I asked to have reflected on the record were the portion of my comments that indicated that we were there to assess the PUD application and apply
only.
the law.
Yeah.
That wasn't mentioned in the minutes.
Okay, we also have here Anya Crawford, who is the owner of Crawford's Kitchen.
Kitchen?
In the city of Plymouth. We'll forgive you for that, but you.
No, it's a good place to eat.
You do live in the township, so that's the important thing. And Crawford's Kitchen is awesome. I have been there many times, and it's
It's our
terrific
son's
food.
favorite place.
Terrific food.
Yeah.
We also have the intergovernmental agreement with Wayne County for the LED lights. If there's any comments or questions, we can do these all at once.
Mr. Supervisor, I move for the approval of the agenda, including the amended minutes for February 28th.
Okay, we're gonna have to take a roll call on this, so I'll need a
Yes,
second.
but need a second.
Oh, second?
Second by trustee Monahan. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Roll calling on,
Everything.
Everything.
so the consent agenda.
Yes.
Sir.
Supervisor Heising.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Clerk Borba, yes. Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Trustee Kermy.
Yes.
Trustee Monahan.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay.
So point of information, why
sir.
do we do roll call? We don't
Because we
always.
have.
Because there's
the-
resolutions.
The IGA requires a roll call vote for a resolution. Okay, public comment limited to 3 minutes. This is not your only opportunity during the evening. There'll be an opportunity at the end of the meeting as well, which will hopefully be soon. At the rate we're going. All right, then.
I meant to ask a
Yes, sir.
question if I could.
Yes,
Back in the consent
yes.
agenda, why was all of that background around about the chain of title and all of that included?
That is always required by Wayne County
Wayne County.
for the, they need proof that we really own the land in question. And so that whole interesting,
It was interesting.
yeah, I mean,
I'd never
there's some-
seen it.
69, all
some
that.
old names and letterhead on there, that's very interesting. But it all just goes to show the chain of title, and it's the same thing that we give them every time we do anything at Township Park, so.
I've never seen that before.
Jeremy has all of that on
Yeah.
file.
On
Yeah,
file, yeah.
yeah, we always attach it, so the actual IGA is only a few pages.
Maybe I wasn't reading it.
That's okay.
Well, sometimes it may not have as many pages,
Right.
but this was a good history.
Yeah,
Yes.
interesting,
The Amrine brothers.
yeah.
They made good money on that.
Okay, then, I'm gonna move on to item F1. This is a resolution to oppose the Salem Township application for a sewage treatment plant. Salem, the so-called Salem Springs project is no stranger to Plymouth Township. There's a long history that predates most of us on the board. I don't want to get into all of those details, because it's just not helpful at this point in history. But this board has twice passed resolutions unanimously opposing the Salem Springs project, which was originally conceived as a large urban development district by Salem Township, and it encompasses hundreds of acres south of M14 and west of Napier and north of Joy Road, and also a large area north of M14 between Godfredson and Napier. It's owned primarily by Showstack Development, but there are also smaller entities involved in this as well. In 2017, we passed a resolution opposing the Salem Springs project, and again in 2020, as we felt it had a detrimental impact on our residents' quality of life, property values, and its adverse impact on the environment, road quality, and stormwater management. Also incumbent with this project is the fact that Salem Township is a very rural, quiet community. We met many of them, folks from Salem 2 weeks ago, and I certainly appreciated their passion for maintaining their way of life. Unfortunately, the township has decided to create this, basically a city within a city.
That's Salem Township.
Salem Township, and that is not quite on the map right now, Bob, but you know, if you move out a little bit more, you'll see, if you can get down to Joy Road. So, Ann Arbor Joy Road, same thing over there. So Joy Road, Godfredson, M14, and then that area, most of that area to the north of M14. You may notice that there is a large facility right now at the corner of Napier and Joy. We get a lot of questions about that facility. That is a water pumping station that was purchased by, well, it was acquired by Salem Township, and it hooks into there's the device right there, and it hooks into a massive water line that goes all the way down Joy Road and Ann Arbor Road, and it hooks up to that facility there. That facility, in turn, is ready to pump water all the way from Dearborn along Joy Road and here Ann Arbor Road, a short stretch. And then, if you could zoom out again, Bob, or go back to the map. So the water main right here, which is fed by this pump station, is now has its own water loop. So a water loop has been built all up and down this area. I think it also has
it
now,
goes
it
out there,
goes all
yeah.
the way up here. It doesn't go to Carl's cabin though, or apparently. Goes all the way up here.
There's fire hydrants across the street.
There is,
Yeah, but
there's
they
They're
don't-
bagged.
They
They're
don't
bagged,
work,
yeah.
they don't work. So the water loop comes around here, and that encompasses their entire urban development district. So the water is inoperable right now, but the water lines have been installed along with the fire hydrants.
Under the highway?
Yes,
I'm assuming it goes.
They went under the highway, yeah.
They dug under the highway, I would have
they
to
tunneled
presume.
under.
I didn't know
Unless
that.
there's I don't think there's any other pumping facilities up here.
No.
So, so again, we've consistently opposed this. So how did they get the water in here and who paid for it? Well, you paid for it, taxpayers of Michigan. You paid for it because the legislature gave Mr. Shostak, or actually they give the money to Salem Township. There was never a check with his name on it. But Salem Township got $10 million in 2018 to build the infrastructure for this development zone. They got another $10 million in 2020 or 2019.
2020.
So this has been certainly a bipartisan effort, but they've had two tranches of money. So your tax dollars have been given to Salem Township for this project. So your tax dollars have paid for the water line. So they cannot proceed further though because they need sewer in addition to water. So the plan for the Shostak Salem Township plan was to drill a sewer line underground from Plymouth Ann Arbor Road all the way south, all the way down to, keep going.
Ypsilanti.
Oh, keep
Willow
going.
Run
Right there.
Airport.
So where's Willow Run Airport? Right about
Right in there, yeah.
So they want to drill a sewer line from there all the way through to here. That's quite a ways. So Superior Township found out they didn't want a sewer line going through their community because they are also a rural community and they enjoy that lifestyle. They've actually acquired land for public benefit as a trust, a natural trust. So they opposed the sewer line going through their community, and they wrote their own ordinance. They fought it in court. The Shostak and the Salem Township people challenged them in court, and Superior Township won. So that was a couple of years ago, and then that case went to the Michigan Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals heard the case a few months, right before Christmas, I believe, and then the matter was sent back to the Washtenaw County Circuit Court, okay? So that case is still pending in Washtenaw County Circuit Court. Anyway, so that's what the legal status of that case. So we have been tracking a lot of things that go on in Salem Township for years, going back for me.
Yeah, 7-8
Before
years.
2016. And so we've been keeping a close eye on this. After their setback, I should say, in the Court of Appeals, I reignited my efforts to track what's going on. And I know he's been legitimately hammered in some quarters around here, but Gary Heitman has also been a big help in this regard. He has been doing a lot of snooping for us. So Gary, if you're listening, thank you very much for your help on this. So when, shortly after Christmas, I started to refocus my interest in what's going on the Salem Township Board. So at their first meeting in January, they approved, it was like a one-line resolution where they said, we authorize the township to apply for a wastewater treatment permit.
Sewage treatment.
Well, but that's how the resolution
I
read.
know.
But, and that was it, and so there was nothing else. So a couple weeks after that, I filed a FOIA request with the Township of Salem, and I asked for any documents between Salem Township and Eagle, which is the State Department of Environmental, Great Lakes Energy and Environment. And so I got a few letters from their consultant, but I did not get all of the information that is before you tonight. That was given to me by a secret source in Salem Township, not Gary Heitman or anybody like that, but there are people in Salem who are very aware of what's going on, and they're not happy about it, but they feel like they're not getting anywhere with their local government. So on February 6, 2023, Salem Township applied for a permit for a sewage treatment plant to service the Salem Springs project and related areas. If you want to go to Google Earth right now, Bob. So here is that it? No, go.
It's gonna be right
there.
there. This is
That's
the
the
tower.
microwave tower.
Yeah, go south.
This is
What?
the pumping station.
Go.
Oh, sorry.
Go north.
Go north? You told me to go
The
south.
map had it right up against
No,
M14.
you gotta go down further.
what are you looking
That's
for?
Powell Road,
This is
you
it,
wanna
right,
go
this is it here.
right
Powell.
there.
Yeah, this is right here is the tower.
You wanna find North Territorial.
Kurt,
No, it's
the words and the map don't match. The words
They
say
don't.
North Territorial in Napier, but I don't think that's
No,
correct.
go up, go up, go
Oh,
up.
the
It is
map
North
says
Territorial.
the map says it's right
But
here.
yeah, the
Kurt.
map shows where that is M14, so it's
Words said it
inconsistent
was
with
up
what you're
here.
saying right now.
Right there is where that's supposed to go.
No,
Oh, not according to the
no.
map.
The documents that I read show it against M14 across from the microwave tower.
Oh, the microwave
He's
tower.
right.
No, okay. Yeah, Napier. Well, it's the Napier M14 area.
Yeah, but this is
No,
a
but
lot.
it's not North Territorial. Here's the map, right? Bob, bring up the map, which is page,
Yeah, no, I got you.
What page, Chuck?
it doesn't have anything, but let's see what, I'll guess.
Do that one.
There it is.
162,
Yeah.
right there.
Right. Right,
Which is at the end of Powell.
right.
So the background summary says North Territorial
Right,
and Napier.
okay.
It should be
So
M14.
that's incorrect.
So Fellows Creek starts right about
Here,
here.
and it empties in.
It goes down.
Somehow they're gonna dump into Fellows Creek, which
Right.
goes
Exactly.
right through.
Right,
Show you where
right.
Fellows Creek goes.
Yeah,
Right.
It comes here, 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 comes right through here, right through here, right through here.
Goes in a canton.
goes in, yeah, crosses
Goes down
Ann Arbor
to the
Road
canyon.
at about where is it the Country Club Village Pump Station?
Right around
Lift
there.
station?
It comes.
Yeah, and
So it comes in here.
And so
right
we
here.
need to amend that
That's
to
fine.
say M14.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay, so the proposed plan is to be located at that location, M14, roughly, you would just scroll up a little bit more, Bob. Right around here, okay. And it is supposed to dump 840,000 gallons of, albeit treated water, but you're talking about, still about wastewater.
is it secondary or
May
tertiary?
have to be tertiary, but you're
You
still
said it has
talking-
to be, or we don't know
I
yet?
would think it has to be tertiary.
What does that mean?
Has to be treated three
Treated.
times before it goes into Fellows Creek, but that still does not deal with,
YCUA
flow.
treats tertiary. The city of Detroit is secondary.
yeah, okay.
So the city of Detroit puts it back into the Detroit River?
Dirty, more dirty than in,
More dirty.
Yeah.
Because it's a bigger river.
I don't know anything
Yeah.
about this topic, that's
Yeah.
why I'm asking.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
well,
So-
we paid to expand YCUA with tertiary treatment. So it goes into, it's pumped back at Getty's Road into the Lower Rouge.
Right.
tertiary, our portion.
So is there
The other
still,
portion from Ann Arbor and maybe Ipsy goes to the Huron River as tertiary.
Yeah.
is there still solid waste in it when
No,
it's discharged?
no. It's all settled out.
And then they
They get
scoop
the
it out.
number, 840,000 gallons.
That was from
Is that-
their engineer's report.
Okay.
To service what they said would be 3,000 homes.
That's
That's a lot more than what
840,000
we told us.
gallons
lot of water.
per day?
Yeah,
3,000 homes probably won't happen for 30 years.
but still,
Okay.
that's the plan.
So, we can change that up a little bit, but that's where the tower is right now. That's the Wayne County Emergency Radio Tower thing there.
That's a private tower.
Yes.
Well, I thought Wayne County
No,
owns that.
No, it used to be a
American
microwave.
Tower Corporation.
It used
or
to be a
what-
microwave
American
station.
Tower.
Okay, so it's certainly my opinion that this violates the principles of environmental justice, which, according to the state of Michigan, environmental justice is the equitable treatment and meaningful involvement of all people, regardless of race, color, national origin, ability, or income, and is critical to the development and application of laws, regulations, and policies that affect the environment, as well as places that people live, work, play, worship, and learn. Equitable treatment means no group of people bears a disproportionate share of the negative consequences resulting from governmental, industrial, or commercial operations and policies. That's just one of the principles of environmental justice. And as we have seen throughout history, Bob, if you want to just pull out now for a few thousand feet, communities tend to put their least desirable elements on their borders so that the smell of a sewage treatment plant goes into somebody else's backyard and not theirs. And as we've seen with the landfill in Salem, you also have a landfill that's right on their border, which has been very detrimental in Northville Township and to some extent even us over the years. So this application, which you have attached to your agenda, the application is now on file with EGLE, which is the Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Environment. Energy, Environment, oh well, there's two E's in there. But it is in front of a review person right now. I've also met with our two state reps now that we have for the western part of the township. They're very well aware of what's going on, and they'll certainly be tracking it up in Lansing. But I don't think anybody wants a sewage treatment plant right across our border that would be, facing dozens of homes right there at Powell and also into Country Club Village and the other condo units along Napier Road.
Especially with the westerly winds.
Right.
So they're not using settling ponds? It's going to be,
There's different methods for what's known as a pocket wastewater treatment plant, but they're almost, every time I've ever seen one, they always involve some kind of a settling pond, because that's how you get your solids to settle. And then that provides you with another ability to filter the water, before it's discharged. But again,
YCUA use settling tanks, they don't have ponds.
This is gonna be ponds, I think.
they're open air for the most part too, so.
They're open air?
Yeah,
Everyone
they
I've
have
ever
to,
seen.
so it evaporates.
Everyone I've ever seen. You introduce bacteria into the settling pond as well, so that the bacteria eats the product that is in the pond, in the settling tank. It still does not address, though, the volume issue, 840,000 gallons a day into the Fellows Creek. I've just done a little Google searching, and I know in Canton, the Fellows Creek has had some really bad years where it's been flooding into neighborhoods in Canton.
Right.
Maybe some of our folks have had that issue as well, but I know it's a more severe problem the further down you go. So that's why we want to put Canton Township on notice as well.
So the lower Rouge, the issue there was the water was too brackish. So when Plymouth Township, when WTUA started using YCUA in a big way, it is pumped back and has been beneficial to the lower Rouge because it's cleaned the brackish
Right.
area out and it's made more flow.
How could it be brackish?
well, when I say brackish, not salty, but it's just,
Yeah.
was very low flow.
A lot of silt
And a lot of
cloudy.
overgrowth, a lot of growth, vegetation, so.
So anyway, this resolution, which I don't want to have to read through, it kind of speaks for itself, would be filed with, our opposition to this project, would be filed with the governor, the state directors of Eagle and MDOT, virtually every state rep, state senator and county commissioner who overlaps this area, and then some, Washtenaw County Water Resources Commissioner, and others who I think would be interested in this
I
project.
do have a question, Mr. Super. Who is Capital Relations LLC?
They are the lobbyists for the Showstack Development Company. Some of those, we've talked about them in the past. That would be Mike Garavaglia and Shannon Price.
So we don't want this treatment plant to be at that location. So does that mean the optimum fix is the sewer line to YCUA, which is the cleanest, most environmentally sound?
Well, I mean, if you want to drive a wedge between Plymouth Township and Superior Township, this would be a clever way to do that.
Why, it's a wedge between Salem and
Oh, no,
Superior, not us.
No, I mean, this would force, I think there are people advising Salem who are in favor of this, because then they would force us to go to Superior Township and say, hey, you gotta let them build that sewer line.
Why
because
would
don't
we
want
have
this
to
in our
intervene
backyard."
and do that? If
Well,
the,
we've been supportive of
no,
Superior Township.
it's not using YTUA. It's not using
It's not
Wautuva
using
lines.
Wautuva. They would love to go into Wautuva.
No, but then we wouldn't have to deal with Wautuva issues.
yeah.
It would be completely independent of us and all contained in Washtenaw County.
That is a decision between Salem and Superior, and I don't want to intervene any more in that one than we already have. I just
That's
don't
what I'm
wanna-
worried about. If
I
they
just
don't, if
don't
they
want a
win,
sewage treatment plant next to Plymouth Township.
well, that's my concern is what happens if there is no resolution and the final solution is to have the sewage treatment plant right up against Plymouth Township?
Yeah,
That is literally an oh shit.
yeah, definitely.
So,
that's why we're doing this resolution.
no, but I'm
in
talking
opposition.
about, wouldn't it be better for them to pursue the pipeline to YCUA?
They've been doing that, and they've been defeated by Superior Township.
But they're back in court.
But maybe we shouldn't be intervening on that anymore because we don't want the default to be in our backyard?
We have not intervened in any legal sense
no,
with that issue at all.
You appeared in court, right?
No, I appeared in a Zoom meeting.
That's
that was
court.
a public hearing. No,
No?
it was a public hearing. It was a public hearing held in Superior Township, and I was there as township
So
supervisor.
you did not appear at the circuit court?
No,
or
I have not
filed
appeared in any
a brief
court
or
of
anything?
law
Okay.
on this matter. No, I have
All
not
right.
filed a brief.
All right.
So,
So I guess I'm worried about getting the default in our backyard.
well, Salem's a pretty big township, so maybe they'll see the light. Maybe Eagle will see the light, because again, it does violate the principles of environmental justice by putting a wastewater treatment plant right next to a heavily populated area. So.
How often does that principle prevail in an argument?
Well, Eagle has created, under the Whitmer administration, has created their own Office of Environmental Justice. They have an Environmental Justice Commission, so they seem to take it very seriously, or they wouldn't have spent all that time and money on this, so.
Okay, speaking of time and money, let's review this therefore be it resolved section. It says that we're authorizing the relevant staff to oppose this up to and including litigation. Are we authorizing you to proceed with litigation, or will we have the usual closed session and decide when the time comes up?
We would meet with our attorney and seek an opinion on whether or not we would engage in litigation if it came to that.
I
But
mean, the
there's-
entire board would meet.
Yeah, of course,
Certainly.
yeah.
Like is normal.
Yes, yeah.
Because I'm concerned about giving authorization without having
No.
We've never
the normal.
done
We've never done that.
I know we've never done it.
Yeah.
So that's why I've never seen this language in a resolution
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, we're-
So can you assure us that you will not be proceeding with litigation
We
until you
cannot
review it?
proceed with litigation until
Without-
our attorney meets with the whole board, because that's his responsibility as a township attorney. He works for all of us.
And then who will be managing any of the pre-work? So we don't go
Oh,
overboard
that
before.
would be me, that would be Jeremy, that would be perhaps other, Laura Haw, others who would have some professional expertise in that area.
So,
We're going to object to a permit application for a sewage treatment plant right next door to our community.
Jerry, will you be willing to have accounting keep track of our expenses,
Oh, absolutely. We always do.
including engineering expenses?
Yes.
And who will be doing that?
Yes.
Carol?
Yes, Carol, until we have a new a finance director.
All right. I'm just concerned about any
Yeah.
carte blanche here without,
That is.
it's an unusual thing to say up to and including litigation.
Well, that's what it means. It means.
I can
but in
see
order
up
for us-
to, but
Shows you that
including
you're
is the word
serious.
that worries me.
It means that we're willing to go there, but the board has to act on all that. We can't just carte blanche.
Kevin will tell you, he's not going to initiate litigation without board approval.
Yeah.
Kevin, how about if you tell us? What did you have some words to add?
I can tell you that my position is to represent the board as a whole, and this would be the board as a whole decision. And if the board decides to go to litigation, again, it's a board decision. And we could meet in closed session. We couldn't meet under the exception that calls for pending litigation because the litigation would not have started, but we could get into closed session based on a written attorney opinion.
Okay, so
Thank you,
strategy.
Kevin.
So, I'm not sure if I heard you right. That's an improper use of a closed session to me to discuss whether to move forward with a strategy of litigation?
If,
He's got an
without
opinion.
pending litigation, he has to author a letter.
He has to, yeah, he has to give an opinion for us to discuss the opinion.
There's different permissible purposes for a closed session.
Yeah.
One is if there's pending litigation. Pending means that it's existing at the time of the closed session. That would not be the case here. But you could, another permissible reason for a closed session is for the board to go over a written attorney opinion.
Alrighty then, for the reasons stated therein, I would urge your approval so that we can get on the ball on this and stop a sewage treatment plant from coming in across from our community.
So are you going to change the
Yeah, it'll be amended.
background on page 157 from corner
Sure.
of North Territorial
Yeah,
and Napier Roads to
to M14.
M14 and Napier Roads?
Yes.
Sure.
And then also, have they received 20 million or 30 million?
30 million.
I see two different
Well,
numbers.
I've heard 20 and I've heard 30, but I thought it was 20.
Well, I thought they got another
Tranche.
10 million in the last
Oh,
Year.
year, exactly.
That's what I heard.
I thought at the end
I
of
think it's 30 million.
December 2022.
Yep,
okay.
they did.
But, that's what I'm asking you. You're close to it. What is the
I'm-
real number?
If you want it to be 30, I don't know.
Well, no, it's not what I
thought it
want,
was
it's
20.
the
I thought it
truth.
was 20.
I don't know,
so.
what is the real number?
I think it was 10, 10, and.
10?
I think there was, yeah, I think so. There was more than one tranche.
Oh, for
And
sure.
and the last one was 10. And that was in,
It may have been in December of
yeah, at
2022,
the end of the year.
when
Well,
the
I can double-
Republicans were on their way out.
I will double check that, but.
Yeah, the governor
I don't
signed
think
it.
we have, oh yeah, we did say 20 million.
So
Governor
they
signed it.
actually have been the funds have been transferred?
The money's gone to Salem Township.
Township.
Well,
They got the money.
I thought, Kurt, that you said that Whitmer administration was trying to get back the final 10.
I think there's been a lot of talk about
About
that, but
that,
they haven't done
They
it.
haven't done it yet.
And it's not reflected in her budget currently.
So not reflected means she's assuming what?
They're not gonna.
They're
claw
not
it back.
clawing it back at this time.
At this time.
At least she's not.
So it might be 30 then, all right.
I think it's 30.
I mean, I think they've spent at least 9 on the water system.
They've sunk 9.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, literally sunk.
so.
Well, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay,
but
thank
bef-
you, Jerry.
But
Oh, yeah,
before,
sir.
but before I do that, I would just like to say, as a member of the board, and the public should know that Kurt has been on this, for the past 7 years and has been working diligently on it and has kept his thumb on this and is really an expert in this field. And so we're very fortunate to have his expertise in this, looking out for the quality of life for the township residents and also for the property values that are going to be impacted by this. So I really would like to thank you for that. In doing that, I would like to make a motion. I move to adopt the attached resolution as amended, 2023-03-1415, opposing the Salem Township application of sewage treatment plant.
Okay, motion's made by Clerk Vorba. Is there a second?
Second.
Yes.
Second by Trustee Stewart. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Clerk Vorba, yes. Trustee Kermy.
Yes.
Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Trustee Buckley.
Yes.
Treasurer Dorchevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Monahan.
Yes.
Supervisor Heisey.
Yes.
Motion
Okay.
carries.
Thank you very much, everybody. And we'll clean up that
Thank you.
resolution. You're very welcome, very welcome. This is the kind of quality of life issue that we've been really empowered to deal with. And, we politicians of all stripes talk a good game about the environment, but very rarely that people really go to bat for the residents when it comes to their quality of life and property values, and hopefully
So
this will be
can
an
you
example
smell
of
it
that.
when you're near?
Oh,
the-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they're gonna build houses right next to,
I don't know where they're gonna build their houses, but I know where my houses are, so,
Yeah. Yeah, it smells.
really?
Yes.
So you got
Anyway.
a dump to the north, a
Yeah.
horse track to the east, and
The horses are only there for a couple days a week, Bob, you know that. And they're moved in and they're moved out.
pray for a south wind.
Yes. So, public comment again, limited to 3 minutes. Everybody all set? Perfect. Board comments, Mr. Vorba.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I just piled some accolades on the supervisor, but I'd like to do the same thing for Treasurer Bob Dorchevitz. Bob has taken this position, I think it's been about 10 months now.
Yeah, 10 months.
And Bob has worked diligently to learn the job, to work with all the other departments, and really help in formulating the last budget we had, and helping us with the audit. And more importantly, as treasurer and as fiduciary of all the funds that we have, Bob has worked very hard in making sure that we receive the most amount of interest that we can on our assets deposited in the different depositories that we have. Additionally, he has sought to not only do that, but balance how the deposits are applied in each one of the depositories. Bob came to me a while back, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and informed me that he thought there needed to be some rebalancing and moving some money from different institutions in order to reduce risk. And I queried it a little bit, and I says, well, Bob, I says, the one bank you want to move the money from is in the township, and they're good people, and we've used them for a long time. And he says, well, I agree with that. That's true. He says, but I feel that there's a risk involved in having too many assets in one location. And so he came up with a plan to allocate the funds in a more equal fashion. And lo and behold, what happened the other day? We had major banks, tanking. And I went like, wow. I wonder if he has any advice on other investments.
Yes, Bob
On my own.
Nostradamus, right?
But this was not by accident. This was not like fortuitous. This was a plan. This was strategic planning. This was thoughtful. It was proactive. It was forward thinking. It was exemplary of what a fiduciary does. And so, thank you, Bob, for doing that, thinking forward like that. And the public should be grateful that we have someone of Bob's caliber who took on this job and is continuing the good work that Mark Clinton did as treasurer. And I just want to thank you, and I think the public should know that that kind of work is really exemplary in the public sector. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jerry. There'll be some bagels in your office
Thank you
tomorrow
very
morning.
much.
He has applied for a property tax exemption.
Wait, I can fix that.
But this is important. I mean, that was
That's
just,
Thank you,
great.
Jerry. That's very kind.
Well,
of
it
you.
does. It shows, especially with the very difficult situation that the banking industry has right now, that it's good to be diversified, you know?
yes.
Not put
Thanks
all
for
your
those
eggs in one
comments.
basket. So,
I love the job.
good.
I really do.
Good. We're happy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Trustee Buckley, anything going on? Okay. Bob, anything else after that heaping praise? What more can you
We
do?
need to talk about Jerry now.
So let's
thank
have, Jerry, Jerry, you didn't say anything about yourself. Nothing else going on in your office? You're busy?
No, listen, we're just busy, really working on taking in all the information on the new laws for voting, and we're working with our legislators and the other clerks in the area.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a real long haul here, and realizing that the legislature is still going to do some promulgating of rules that are not going to be done until later on in the year. So it may be crunch time before we get some good answers for how things are going to work. But we're diligently on it, and thank you for your support.
Okay, Audrey?
Nope, thank you.
All right, Chuck?
A couple. Since you're talking about election, can you find an accounting for us of the Zuckerbucks? I forgot what the foundation is, how much we have received.
8,000 some dollars.
Right, but have we received by year? Did we receive any this year yet?
No, just that one time, and it was a grant you had to apply for.
Right. It was
You
in
know,
2020?
It was in 2020, and we used it to pay for our staff.
Are you going to apply again?
I don't even know if it's available, I don't know.
Probably not.
What is a Zuckerbuck?
Well, Mr. Zuckerberg and one of his organizations, one of his created, I guess.
Philanthropic
things,
entities.
donate millions of dollars to that, and then was set up as a grant that people could apply for, and different communities, based on what their needs were, I think Canton and Livonia got like $100,000, something like that. We applied for it because we have a fiduciary responsibility when money's out there to try to get some, and we qualified for about $8,300 that we used to pay for election workers.
It's controversial about how, in some of the communities, use the money.
Well, I mean, it may be, but I mean, the way we use it was we paid people to work, and we did extra training because of changes in the law. Remember, some laws were changed in 2018 also. And so we had to bring people up to speed, so we had extra training, and that money was applied to that type of thing. So it was very above board. How other people use their money, I don't know, but that would be an issue for other people to discuss.
Okay.
Kurt, when is the date of the annual HOA meeting, presidents?
We don't know for sure yet. It's
You'll let us know when
probably-
it is.
Yeah, I mean, tentatively, I can tell you, we're looking at April 26th. It's a Wednesday night.
And Bob, speaking of fiduciary, the land contract we have with the purchaser of the property, the excess DPW property that I asked before, will you be willing to provide a summary of the dates and the amount of his payments?
Sure.
I know your initial thing was the payment was being made to the supervisor's office,
Yeah, I can pull that up.
which is not correct. It's supposed to go to you. Then that's why you have it.
Well, it goes to the supervisor's office, and we receive all payments, but not me personally all the time. I've got staff that does that.
No, but I mean, it doesn't have to get mailed to the supervisor. It gets mailed to you, right?
It's just the way it's done.
It's just, we collect the checks and we make a
Goes to
photocopy and we
Sue.
give it to,
Yeah.
All
Bob.
right.
Yeah, I can pull that up. That's no problem.
So I want to know if it's current and the dates of the payments.
Gotcha.
Any that aren't current,
Yep,
I believe that it is.
yeah.
It'll take a few minutes, and I can run your report.
great, thanks.
All righty, John Stewart.
If you'll allow me, Mr. Supervisor, I'd like to compliment you.
Oh.
And my favorite words, I'd like to thank you.
Okay.
Effective, consistent, and consecutive communication regarding service from DTE. I'm referring to your relationship and communication with Barbara Rickwalder, acknowledging the Duval Circuit out in Lake Point, and my contacts and friends across the state of Michigan. You were meticulous, and you really stayed on it. And I want to thank you on behalf of the people of Plymouth Township. Secondly, across Michigan, the Small Business Association of Michigan wants to stress that the personal property tax exemption is not $80,000. In 2021, a piece of legislation was added along with all the tax benefits for large businesses, corporations. The exemption is now $180,000, and that's been in existence since January of this year. You must go into the treasurer's office and you must ask for an affidavit, a piece of paper, and you must submit. If I may please be specific, this is great news for your business, self-employed, live on street commission, you own a restaurant, you can exempt up to $180,000 worth of personal property, tax-free. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
The city of Plymouth doesn't want to hear that.
No! Thank you for letting me make that announcement.
you know, to add to that, that's valuable information to get out to all the small businesses, because if they don't file, they're liable for it.
Right.
And we've got a number of companies that just
Newsletter.
did not file, and we can only go back 2 years. And that, you know, they're liable for the taxes.
They're liable
So
for
it
an
is a-
imputed number.
Right.
So it is as easy as coming in to see you,
They go to assessing, but they can come in and
Assessing
see us,
first?
and we'll send them over there.
pick up an affidavit,
Yeah, and it's done.
and 180,000 is now tax exempt.
Yeah. All set?
That's it?
So the township newsletter came out last week, and it's a special 3-pager, and we do have another letter here from Bob explaining in great detail how Prop A works, and the fact that even though your property values, because your property values are going up by your taxes by 5% this year, this is due to Prop A of 1994, because the 2-year average inflation rate here is 7.9%. I think it's a lot higher, but that's a bad enough number right now, and it has triggered the 5% increase rule under Prop A. So right now, in some cases, it may be hard to see that on your assessment, but you'll probably see it for sure in your taxes. And with that in mind, we also included this chart on the back that shows where your property taxes go for every $100 you pay in taxes, and how we compare to what the county, the schools, and the other taxing jurisdictions, and then where the township money goes once we receive it. So all in all, very good job on that one, Bob. And I did pilfer that letter slightly for one of the news magazines that appears in the township. So that's under my name.
You wrote most of that
So,
letter.
so I pilfered a lot of that information, and I put it under my name, so I blamed you for everything, and you'll with your phone number, so you'll be all set.
Bob, does the school histogram include all of the debt and the 6 mills operating?
School operating, school debt, RESA, the 3 RESA taxes, and the SET, the 6 mills.
Yeah, let's go on.
And that's for homestead or PRE exemption.
100% PRE.
Yeah, 100% PRE.
Okay, we will not be having a board meeting on March 28th because we have spring break and we have some conflicts that week. So our next regularly scheduled meeting will be Tuesday, April 11th. Happy Easter, and we'll see you then. Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Stewart, seconded by Mr. Dwarva. All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.